Atlanta United Fan TV 2-1 loss to Inter Miami, and this might be a low point in the season, possibly. One would say maybe the Orlando City loss might rival that as well, or the MLS is Back tournament. But either way, I mean, is this year already a write-off anyway for you, or, I mean, do you have even stronger feelings about this match after watching that?
Well, I mean, it's been a rough start. I mean, that's definitely, the case. It hasn't been a good start to the year. I mean, we'll see, though. I mean, the problem is right now when you think about it, like the team doesn't really have much time to gel, and it is a brand new team. We're playing games like every other 3 days, which means, you're traveling one day. You have one day to really train hard, and then you have to rest the next day and get ready for the game. It hasn't been a good start, but, this is the MLS. Like the point differences between first and, the last place team to get into the playoffs is usually not too terribly far. It is the beginning of the season. Let's see what happens. I was encouraged a little bit today by the performance. I thought the control was there, just no cutting edge.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. I mean, in terms of the link-up play in the middle third, it definitely looked a lot better than in the previous match. But, that final third, really still not exactly how we want it. And then plus, I mean, the penalties. I mean, a lot going on there, obviously. A lot to really go through. But encroachment, 2 penalties, both are saved. I mean, it's, and then, kind of an argument on who should take it. Anytime you have that, it's usually a recipe for a missed penalty, I feel like. But what were your thoughts on, should we have gotten more out of this match? Should it at least have been a draw?
Well, as far as the penalty goes, it's always good to see 2 players that are passionate about wanting to take it. However, I think that kind of decision should be made before the game. Again, that's none of my business, but it is good to see 2 players that are passionate about taking it. It's good to see Barco's confidence. He missed the first one. He wanted to take the second one. So I don't want to take anything away from his confidence. Obviously, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to. I am disappointed to lose, especially after the first game being so boring and, we did really control the game a lot better this time around. We just lacked that cutting edge in the final third. It got to a point where when you looked at it, it was just a sea of black jerseys behind the ball. And we would take the balls to the sides, try some triangles, and eventually we would knock it out. Nothing would happen. And then after a while, we would kind of just shoot one into the middle. But there was no one there to get it. Kubo Torres worked hard. Barco worked really hard, and that's the frustrating part about it. Is Barco always works really hard, but it's just like he's always missing that little extra step or two, that extra bit of space to make it to where it's nice. But I will say I was happy with the confidence that he showed and wanted to take it, happy with the passion that the players showed. Obviously they're not happy about it, but it's hard to watch right now. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, PT Martinez not being in the team, sold to Al Nassr. That will affect sort of the chance creation, the creativity in the team as well. I mean, do you think that's a huge miss? What were your thoughts on PT Martinez going?
I mean, I'm going to be sad to see him go. I think he did a good job last season. He didn't do exactly what we thought he was going to do when he arrived, but I thought he did fine. I'm going to miss him. $18 million is a lot of money. That being said, I know they have until the end of October, I believe, I could be wrong, to pick up another player. Let's see what they do with it. I'm going to miss him, though. I mean, he worked hard, too. He was another one of those dudes like Barco that always worked hard, but just seemed to be missing that final touch, that final penetration point. And, there's a lot of, I've been reading the forums, been reading a lot of the chats, and it seems to be split 50-50 on how people feel about him. But, once you're an Atlanta United player, I have nothing but respect for you. I hope, he does well over in Saudi Arabia. I wish he hadn't left. I was caught off guard by it. But, we'll see. Let's see who they bring in. Let's see what happens,
Yeah. Well, what type of player do you think they should bring in, to kind of replace the designated player spot?
I think they're going to have to bring in an attacker of some sort. Getting the ball up there doesn't seem to be the problem. It's the matter of getting that final pass, that final link in. As we watched tonight with Miami, they have Rodolfo Pizarro, who I remember, I was at that game when he was with Monterrey, I believe, and we had to play against them. He's a very strong player. He makes that final pass, that final touch. He always sees what's going on around him. And I like to see an attacking player of some sort come in to just be able to help link up the rest. I think gentlemen like Bello, Lennon, Josetto, Jurgen Damm, Barco, even Adam Jean are all literally one or two passes away from being able to get in there. And we don't seem to have that guy that can do it right now. The responsibility seems to be falling on Barco. Before it was Pity, but I don't think those are those guys are those type of players. I'd like to see an attacker. Again, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, is this a low point? Do you have belief in the team to turn this around? Is this somewhere, anywhere, like pretty much any way up, pretty much from here, right?
Yeah, I think we're only 4.5 games behind first place, which seems a lot when you watch soccer from all over the world. 4.5 games is a huge lead to have. In the MLS, though, it's very dynamic. All the teams are very good. I think they can turn it around. Again, every team is in this bad situation where we're having to travel and play the next game in 3 days. You only have a day to really train hard in between games. And our team is a very, very new team. They're very good players, but it's just a matter of being able to gel it. We lost a coach early on in the season. We brought, we have an interim coach. We just brought a new player, Jurgen Damm, Kubo Torres. Adam Jean is having to step up big time. He wasn't used to having to take on this major role. He was brought in basically to be a backup to Joseph Martinez. And, it's going to be hard. But I'd like to think they'd be able to do it. I have faith in them. Why not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely, you can't just give up on the season when you're only, I believe 8 games in. So, yeah, it is what it is. Well, but anyway, Parm, thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you later.